see the comedy scene in Lebanon? Is it like growing, or is it, do people like being entertained more? Like in America, you always have every Saturday there's something. It's like in comedy. Like I live in St. Louis in the States, and every weekend I there's a comedy like and there's like a
Yeah,
show. Always a show. Whether it's in the
yeah.
casino, there's always something happening. What do you see is in the
In Lebanon, it's growing so much, so quicker than we thought. Like in the past 5 years, we have comedy shows almost every day. Monday,
Wow.
Tuesday, Wednesday. Like on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you have the showcases and the headlines and the specials. And on Thursdays, you have comedy lineups, like 8 comedians that do 10 minutes each. There's a variety. The whole week is packed. Basically, every day there's a comedy show somewhere, except Sundays. Maybe on some Sundays we have also. So the scene is thriving, and it's been like that for the past 4 or 5 years.
Nice.
You said you were writing a script for a movie.
Yeah.
What is this film about?
I can't tell what's the film about. I can say it's based on something very Lebanese that everyone would relate to.
Okay, that's fine.
Uh, yeah, it's a comedy film. That's what
Okay.
I can say. Also, I can't say much, but I hope it's gonna be great. You're gonna get to watch it soon.
Inshallah, inshallah, I'll be the first one to see it.
Yeah, I would love to see it. And
I hope so.
that's
Fingers
incredible,
crossed,
Omar.
because not every idea gets through. I've worked on multiple films, and not all films make it. I hope this one does.
What
Inshallah.
is how do you know if a film's gonna make it? Like how do you know a project's gonna make it through?
Well, for me, every film that gets shot and distributed and watched in the cinemas, even by one person, that's a film that was made. Now
Mm.
you can take two other people watch it. You can do endless screenings of it, but making it is when everyone gets to see it. When you get to touch on all the subjects everyone wants to hear about. When you get to make people feel stuff and go out of the film in a different mood that they came. With uh, a film makes it when you get to touch people. Some people say when you make money, but sometimes you can do both. Yeah.
What's the hardest part of making um the process?
The process of writing,
Yeah, what's the hardest part of it?
the rewriting, basically, because when you have an idea, it's very new, it's shiny, you play around with it a lot, it's so fun, and then you apply structure to the idea, and then after the structure there is the actual script, which we call the first draft, the vomit draft, because you do everything you think of on the first draft. And then it's time for rewriting. And rewriting isn't as exciting as writing, because you're not creating something out of thin air. It's you're editing what you did and you thought was great. So it's you have to kill your darlings, as we say. So this is the hardest
Oh,
part about writing.
Are you
oh.
opposed to the rewriting then?
Am I opposed to writing? No, no. The writing happens in rewriting. Rewriting helps you structure and harness your intuitive thoughts. Everything that's intuitive, that came from the heart. You can spill it out on paper, but to get through other people, so people can understand the ideas you're talking about, you have to rewrite it and structure it in a way that everyone understands what you're feeling, or else it's just some indulgent film you're writing, and you're gonna understand alone. And I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help educate me a bit, Ahmad. Are there Lebanese comedy films? And I
Yeah,
can't think
most
of any. I
most
know there's dramas, but not like
yeah,
comedies,
most Lebanese
comedies.
films are comedy films, actually, because there are a lot of commercial Lebanese comedy films.
Mm.
Before the war, like we did one or two yearly, I think. They are they are based on existing IPs, sometimes on stories that existed before, on shows that are on TVs, and we get a spin-off film off of it, or a
Mm.
character gets a prequel. It's like the whole world. You can't go to cinemas now and watch something that's not a prequel or a sequel.
Do you
or a
recommend
remake.
anything for us to check out, like a
Lebanese?
comedy?
Yes, I recommend
Yeah,
Khabsa.
Lebanese comedy.
I
Okay,
recommend Khabsa.
cool.
I think it's on Netflix. It's a film by Shadi Hanna. It's
Mm-hmm.
a really funny film, and it's one of the new films. And Shadi Hanna is the director of SLC, if you know SLC, if you remember
Mm-hmm.
SLC in the 90s. So yeah, I really love his work, and I think in Khabsa it was an actual shift in Lebanese comedies. He set the standard. He set the bar higher, definitely, in the 90s and
Mm-hmm.
now. So yeah, definitely go watch Khabsa.
Cool. Definitely will check it out. Welcome back, Saeed. It's nice to see you. Pixelated, but you're here. I told you this is gonna happen when you go to Lebanon.
Trying to, yeah,
Do you have another question
we're
you
trying to
wanted to
power
ask?
through it though.
Well,
It's all right.
the
From
Wi-Fi
the
through it.
yes, well, I did have
Yalla, you have
two
another
more
question,
quick fire
Saeed, or
questions. If we're still up for it, shall we do it? All right.
go for it.
So
Go for it.
there
Roll with it.
was, what's more stressful, a Lebanese wedding or doing 10 minutes at the comedy store? I think that hopefully this time you heard it, Omar. I think I asked it like maybe
Wait,
five
no,
times.
no, no. This time I didn't hear. I heard Lebanese wedding and comedy store. So Ali, you know the question.
What's more stressful, Lebanese wedding or doing a show at Awkward?
um, the old me would have said a Lebanese
I'm
wedding, but
going.
I'm enjoying them more and more now because I don't get to party a lot, and in Lebanese weddings, like you can go off the rails. So I'm starting to enjoy and indulge myself in Lebanese weddings, and of course, I would love to perform anywhere. So I love performing. It's stressful at first, but I look forward to it all day. I don't get stressed over it all day. It's exciting.
Nice. And so when you're doing a joke at the Lebanese wedding, what kind of material? What are the boundaries? Are you allowed to make fun of the bride? What's the
Uh,
preparation like for you?
I actually never did that. I never did that, and I avoid taking private shows because it's most of the time they don't tell attendees that a comedian is coming. So they are having lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone gets the mic and start doing jokes. They don't care. They don't care. Even if it pays good, it's a very stressful situation that I don't like to put myself in. Sometimes I do it for friends or for some people or causes I know, but I avoid
Mm-hmm.
doing it. And in weddings, I don't think people get comedians. It's just if a comedian is invited to a wedding and they are passing the mic to say a couple of words, like you prepare something really specific to the groom and the bride. But other than that, no, I'm out.
Saeed, I've known Saeed since he was in sixth grade, and Paco also, and Shweifat. And man, back in school, Saeed used to be a real crazy guy. And Paco,
Eh? Nah,
he was very
no
different than he
way.
is right now. It's not
No,
easy.
I was the
It's
most
not easy
innocent
to
person
keep.
in school, man. What are you talking about?
You need to prepare it. You need to think of like a story, right? Like a specific thing that happened.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Comedy? Do you mean about comedy?
Yeah, like doing a comedy at a wedding. So let's
Yeah,
say it's
yeah.
Paco's wedding right now. I have to
You
think
have
of
to
like a
choose.
story of me and him when we were younger.
Yeah, yeah. You can start from something that you both know exclusively. So he starts
Mm-hmm.
laughing before anyone starts laughing, and then do sprinkle some stuff that people know about him, but they don't say out loud. So they would also laugh, and then finish your story with everyone laughing. This way, you can get everyone to laugh for different reasons. Yeah.
You need to prepare Paco for my wedding.
Oh, I'm
Oh, Ali's hinting
all
at
right, here's
something,
something.
Paco, by the way.
Uh, so every time I used to get in trouble, I would always say, "My name is Al Haj," because Al Haj is the most innocent guy I know. So if they go up to me, they say, "Oh, you're Ali," they let you go because they don't know my real name. And if they found out my real name, cause like detention, whatever, Saturday detention, whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
suspended. So الناظرة دايما تسألني شو اسمك؟ اسمك علي الحشي، يلا نمشي، اتس اوكي، انت مسامح. بس اذا عرفت انا اسمي محمد يعطيك العافيه، يلا على المدير او على ها. فانا
يا
دائما
انتوا ايام
تلميذ
مدرسة كنتوا؟
شويفات. We were in
بالسعوديه.
Sabas. Mm-hmm.
اه سابس شوي فات. اوكي.
Yep. That's where we
I
all
have
met up.
different world.
Yeah.
انا كنت
What about
بسانكور
yourself?
بتخيل. سانكور بيت
Oh,
شباب سوري.
wow.
Yeah.
Bet Shabab. So you went to an all guys school.
No, my village is
Bet
called
Shabab.
Beit Shabab. My town is called Beit Shabab. It's weird, I know. لو تعرف man في كنيسة فوق اسمها سيدة البزاز. This would get you laughing. ايه بس لها شي 100 سنة. So it's great.
Sayyid Ziz has just been watching over you guys the past 100 years.
ايه because pregnant women who often had a miscarriage or couldn't have babies, they used to pray there, and when they prayed there, they would get a baby. So they called it Sayyidat al-Bzaz. I don't find it
Wow.
weird, but every time someone new, I say to someone new, they start laughing. So
I don't think
Yeah, they could have definitely.
You know, like the church is great, but the wording and how people preserve the wording is the joke. The joke is خلاص تعودت عليها حسيت هيك يعني خلاص.
yeah.
بدها شغل بالبراندنج تبعها، بدها
Yeah,
شغل
exactly.
براندنج for sure.
بدها شغل براندنج بدك تحكي مع you have to talk with the people who named her 100 years ago. There was no branding then. This is how they talked.
Okay. Shall I go for another quick fire question? Is we're still on the roll for that?
Yes, but don't ask
Okay.
before you do it. Just do it. Yeah, go for it, Saeed.
So if hummus was banned tomorrow, what would be Lebanon's black market currency? I don't know how this came up. This one was a weird one.
أصلا hummus isn't a black market currency. We don't care that much about hummus. We just eat it. It's a side dish. It's good. It's great. But black market currency, I think petrol, I think fuel. This is what happened like 3-4 years ago. The whole market crashed. The whole fuel market crashed, and we were trading with gallons and bottles of fuel between friends. So I think this is it.
ما كان عنده دولار كان يعمل هيك. بس
Yeah.
كان عنده بس
Yeah, if you have money, you can do everything. No, my answers are based upon that I don't have money. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So another one.
Anything else, Saeed, in your rapid fire questions?
If your car
or-
horn had
Go
a
for it.
voice, what would it yell in Lebanese traffic?
If what? I didn't get it.
Okay, I'll say it. If your car horn had a voice, what would it say in Lebanese traffic? Shubek, bro.
No, shushu bek, bro. No, that's I need something that sounds like me. I don't know. It depends on my mood, but I think I would have something like khod, definitely, and I would have like لا قوي كتير when someone does something that he thinks they're smart, but it's not that irritating. So like خد لا قوي كتير, and yeah, this is it. I would say منيحة, but I can say it out loud.
Yeah.
منيحة.
There's something about Lebanese culture that is very macho, but also very, let's say, sensitive. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
We
definitely.
always like try to outperform and be like bigger or better than everyone, you know, in a macho way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everyone's like, I don't know, maybe like sensitive and emotional.
Yes, have you ever?
I don't consider macho.
Do you see how guys call other good-looking guys? They don't call them شاب حلو. They say شاب حلاوة. Like they can't even say the word حلو. حلوة. حلو. No man, شو بك شو أنا gay. بس حلوة, it's just it's nicer. So yeah, we're soft and hard at the same time. شب حلوة.
شبه
I
حلاوة.
say حلو. خلاص.
It's like you reminded me of I
No
was
comment.
in a friends gathering last week,
No
and there
comment.
was
Roll with
this
it.
one guy طول الوقت, like it was a mixed group, there was guys and girls, but for some reason this one guy kept complimenting all the guys in the ade and just completely shat on all the girls. Like he wouldn't give them any compliments, but for the guys he would speak to them as if they were, they were feminine. And it's like, oh my god, انت شو حلو, انت شو قوي, انت شو كبير, كل واحد giving them compliments based on how they look and what their good qualities. I was just looking at him. I'm like, bro, are you gay?
It's probably
He's
gay.
like, no, 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 I'm good, I'm straight. I'm like, okay, just checking, just wanted to see. But this reminded me, I was like, oh, this is just like normal
Yeah, we're gonna
stuff.
have
And
to cut this story out of the podcast. Yeah, we have to cut this story out of the podcast.
الله
Next
عليك.
question, Said.
Hell yeah.
Next. Like Omar,
شو
I
في
loved
سعيد.
fucking
I loved Anxious in
fucking
Beirut.
khara, bro, fucking khara.
All right, Said. That was a nice story. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for contributing. Like
Yeah.
Anxious in Beirut was such a great documentary. What was your role in it?
I was co-writing in it, and I was lending my camera to Zakaria. It's his story, and
Nice.
he directed the film, and he shot it on the span of like 3 or 4 years.
Wow. What's
Yeah.
how do you co-write a documentary?
So basically, when you have a ton of footage, we had like hundreds of
Mm,
hours of footage, and we had like the most exciting 4 years in the history of Lebanon, and we had the
mm.
explosion, and we had the
COVID.
corona,
Mm-hmm.
and the 2019, the revolution, the banking, everything that happened in
Mm-hmm.
Lebanon was documented. And we needed to tell this story, and Zach needed to tell his story from a personal perspective because the film started as Anxious in Beirut before 2019. So he wanted to talk about his feeling in Beirut, his feelings coming back and going for like traveling from a country to another, how Beirut pushes you off sometimes and it draws you back. Everything that he wanted to do and was feeling was before 2019. So when the events came, the anxiety persisted, but it took different forms. So we wanted to keep the original concept there, anxious in Beirut, but to link it with the modern things that happened and to try to talk about them. So I was. This is where I came and helped, and everyone also helped. Yahya, Jumana, Zakaria, everyone was there. We tried to plan a structure for these 3 4 years to avoid
Mm-hmm.
repeating, to avoid being too preachy, to keep the film very personal, and at the same time not to dismiss uh, important stuff. So this is where co-writing came, but as a structure.
I thought it was a fantastic documentary, and it really shows how Lebanon's like trying so hard to push people out, and people want to leave, but also there's a lot of issues that make people want to stay. It's a constant question among young people in Lebanon: should I stay
Yeah.
in Beirut or should I leave? Um,
Yes.
and I guess Paco and Said left and came back.
No, no, I'm gone by. This country.
Yeah,
No,
I'm cola right now, bro.
Lebanon, Lebanon is very beautiful. The problem is the Lebanese. Lebanese, we are beautiful, but we are destructive. We take something. نحن رجعنا 200 سنة لورا، يعني خاصة بعد الحرب هاي مع إسرائيل، يعني خلاص دمرت لبنان، يعني there's no option for Lebanon. Yes, inshallah Lebanon gets better, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. It will eventually happen, but not now.
Debate. يلا عمر.
No, I have nothing to debate. Like it's understandable because I lost all my friends to Lebanon. Everyone immigrated. Everyone left the country, and the people who stayed are not extremely happy. But we do it because we think like I'm here because I want to tell stories about where I'm living. I'm a writer, and all my stories are here, and I think it's a kind of a responsibility for me to stay here, to write in Arabic, to do some stand up, to talk in Arabic. I think with my craft, I can do a lot more than I can do elsewhere. So this is why I'm staying. But everyone has their reasons, and Lebanon is not a really nice country to stay in. It's a great country for a vacation. But for living here, it's exhausting. And if you can't handle that exhaustion, you're not forced to. You have better opportunities elsewhere, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, تعال نفهم. Come to the government offices. I'll show you the reason why you should stay in Lebanon.
Yeah,
What?
everywhere you have reasons.
Yeah, but yeah.
What about
دولة
عهد
بدك
الجديد؟
100 ورقة.
Yeah,
Yes.
أكيد دولة. عم تقول لي علي, you're saying debate. Should I side with the دولة to debate? I would never. Yeah, you're totally right. Paco. The دولة doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. It's all based on personal initiatives. So it's good that we're basically keeping the country on its feet.
You know what, Omar?
What
You
about the
say
new
that the
government?
dawla doesn't exist, the government, but what about? Okay, Sai, thanks for interrupting. But then, my question
What about?
is: we were watching the documentary "Anxious in Beirut," and there
Yeah.
was a whole scene of, let's say, people protesting against inflation, and then the
Yeah.
police came and tried to squash them. I mean, that shows me there's a state. There's people pushing back. There's some kind of
Yeah.
Lebanese deep state or
Definitely.
something. That blew my mind. I didn't realize that in front of AUB, police and students were fighting. That's so crazy.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's been the norm. That's the norm in literally every demonstration since the 40s, especially in front of the AUB. Like all the demonstrations for Palestine in the 70s started at AUB, and they were hit and they were shot with bullets. And this is our history with the Lebanese authorities. This is what you get.
Yeah, but you have to understand, like the new government with Noah Salam, Joseph on, it's not gonna be successful because the same people that created the problem are still in office. That's the issue. The issue is you have the same
Yeah.
people that are not gonna help you fix the problem.
Yeah, and I don't care about the new government or the old government. I'm gonna
I know.
oppose no matter what. Like I don't. They've never showed any interest in our well-being, and I didn't get my electricity. I didn't get my water. I don't trust the state.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you rudely like that. That was very rude of me. You can continue with your next question you have, bro.
Yeah.
شو موضوع سلاح المقاومة؟ debate.
شو موضوع سلاح المقاومة, bro? Seriously?
Whoa, Saeed. Okay, never mind. Saeed,
Yeah.
I thought you had questions prepared, bro. We're talking to a comedian about stand-up. Ask about the comedy scene.
Literally one question about stand-up.
I know, right? Jeez,
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll ask you, Ahmed. How about doing stand-up in Lebanon? What are the what I think Lebanon has? It's a small country in a way that everyone knows everyone. So if you're on stage sharing your personal stories of, oh, my teta is such a whatever, and you're doing it on stage, aren't you afraid that people are going to go tell your grandma? You know what I mean? Like, isn't it?
Okay. First of all, everything is an act. So you have to take things with a grain of salt. Not every story is a completely true story. Even if I say so, even if I make you believe it's a true story, Most of the jokes are made up or are based on something that happened, and I continue the other stuff. But some are really true and based on true stories, and I never changed any word of it. And my parents saw my show, and I don't care. And I make jokes about people on my family that don't exist. You know, like
Oh, that's funny. Hmm.
yeah, I don't have any uncles, but I make joke about
Yeah.
my uncles because I know there's a stereotype for an uncle somewhere.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
so uh, I don't care, and what I'm saying on stage is what I'm comfortable saying. So if I'm saying it on stage, I don't care if everyone knows. You know, the if I'm saying it on stage, it means my parents love it. It means I don't care about my parents, what they say, what they think about. You know, the stage is the last phase. After the stage, it's all. I don't care.
It's just an act. You're just making pretend. You're trying to make people laugh.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
showing
Sometimes,
physique.
sometimes people they say, "Oh, you looked so comfortable," and I would be like extremely anxious and about to throw up. But it's an act. I act as a comfortable person, so people think I'm
Hmm.
comfortable. I'm. You have to perform
Like,
it. It's an act. It's a performance. This is why in stand-up comedy I don't like to do crowd work a lot because
mm.
I don't like to interact with people. You came to watch the show. Come, sit in silence, watch the show that I've prepared, the act that I spend months preparing, and leave.
It's a movie.
Yes.
مثل ما just eat
مثل
your food and
مطعم.
get out. في
Eat
غيرها.
your food and get out. Don't
أو
interact. No.
مسرحية. It's like a play. It's like a play. I prepared something. Come watch it and get out. Yeah.
Like or a movie. You watch a movie, you bye.
You
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
interact with it unless
Yeah,
when there's
because
no
you
people.
respect a play and you respect a film. Why don't you respect a stand-up comedian?
Yep, that's true. And first of
Miss,
all, stand-up comedian you put hours يعني حط ساعات منيح ليعطيك ربع ساعة.
Yes, yes, it's a lot of work. And I've been in the stand-up scene for 5 years, and this is the year I'm like maybe doing my hour. This is where I'm getting a solid 15 minutes that I can defend with whole of my heart, you know. And like I love what I'm doing now, but if I gathered the material that I did 3 years ago, it would have been it wouldn't been the same. Anyway,
like Omar, we saw a study that the number one profession that people want to have in Lebanon is comedian. Did you know about this? The most,
no,
like how people want to become pilots, people want to become influencers, whatever. Those are the
yeah.
things. But in Lebanon, it's comedian. Remember, Said, we looked at this study.
That's weird. I never looked at the study, but I wouldn't recommend. It's extremely exhausting. Every time you come on stage, it's draining. You get really stressed, and working in nighttime isn't easy. Uh, did I say exhausting? Yes, it's exhausting. And
Don't you get
also,
sleepy?
this is on a physical
Yep.
level.
Mm.
On a mental level, it's way harder because you have to perform every time. You have to try for new jokes in open mics. People paid money to come see you do good, so you can't really experiment with people. You can have fun with people, but you have to give them a good show. So there's some responsibility to it. So it isn't as easy as other jobs because you can't really guarantee a good job. You have to just do your best, and with practice you start to guarantee some stuff, but it's still extremely hard, and I wouldn't recommend. And it's weird how everyone dreams of being a comedian.
It is weird, but
لبنان نكتة so I expected.
Yeah,
Lebanon's a
yeah,
joke.
yeah. Lebanon Naked. They think Lebanon is a gold mine of material, but I'm going to open mics. Like it's not that of a gold mine. When you look into yourself and tell jokes about your personal life, it's way better than talking about the country.
So
Mm.
who inspires you to be the person you are today? Like you're a comedian. So what comedians like in America we have like they have Richard Pryor, they have Kevin Hart. You know, they
Yeah.
see Dave Chappelle. They see them as a like an influence on who they are today. Who influences you? Be the comedian that you
Uh,
are.
Basically, my influences were also American, but I watched stand-up comedy Fadi Raide when I was a child. After SLC had a special and different kind of humor, and then I watched Fadi Raide's stand-up, and he was really relatable and clean, and I really liked him then. And when I got internet, I started watching basically Louis C.K., Mitch Hedberg, and Norm Macdonald. These are my tops. Yeah, and I like a lot other comedians also, but I think my primary influences are Louis C.K., Mitch Hedberg, and Norm Macdonald. Yeah.
Hmm? Okay.
Good
Yeah.
question.
Okay. Even though he came up with that in the last.
So how do you think it happened in Lebanon? Like Lebanon has such a strong stand-up comedy club scene that is not anywhere else in the Arab world, or very rare also in the entire world, right? So, I mean, what do you think it is about Lebanon that made it so much of a success? There's a lot of comedians; they're all working. You're having shows every night. People go to
Yeah,
the comedy shows.
we don't
People, it's
have
a big part of the
yeah, we
culture.
don't have the kind of censorship that exists in other Arab countries. That's it.
Mm,
Yes.
We've had
Yes.
this for a long time. This is why we had the chansonnier theater. This is why we had the late night acts. This is why we had a lot of freedom on TVs also. We still sometimes get censored. There are stuff that we can't say or will have very violent repercussions, but it's still the most country you can say stuff and you have freedom of speech in the Middle East and the Arab countries, at least.
hmm
No,
Wow.
this is why it got the success. Yeah.
Um, do you think you have more freedom of speech doing stand up as opposed to like talking on the street? Because you were saying that when people just protest on the street, just actually asking for what they want, they get in
Mm.
trouble. But let's say maybe with stand up, there's more of like
No,
a
it depends.
leeway.
It depends. In stand up, you get to have time to think about what you're saying and how you're saying it, and the emotional roller coaster that you have, you will take the audience
Mm-hmm.
with you on. While when you're protesting and on the street, it's a different kind of organization. It's a support. It's a communal act. It's something that you can't do alone. There's a lot of factors that differ, but definitely stand up can help talk and clarify some ideas. And as we all know, messages gets through easier with comedy. So sometimes you can say something in comedy that could be very controversial if you say it out loud or
Mm-hmm.
slowly. So yeah, I think it's different, but they are codependent in a way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think stand up is one of those few places where you can talk about taboos. Like,
Yeah.
Said, ارفع ايدك خيي. Oh, sorry. How can I help you, Said? Yeah, go for it.
No, Habibi, wallah, thank you. You can help me. Omar can help me by answering my question. If a Manouche Zatar had a dating profile, what would its bio include?
بعمل لك حرقة
Ali,
بس طيبة. I would give you a heartburn, but I'm so good.
Yeah.
So true, so true.
Pepsi يعطيك
Yeah.
العافية.
so
سين محمد.
what would if you're trying to do an open like a pickup line for that Manouche Zatar, what would you say كمان يعني؟ أو منوش جبنة كمان يمكن خلينا let's not
Uh,
discriminate بس على المنوش
بجيب
الزعتر.
لك بونجيسة. I would say بجيب لك بونجيسة. أو شو رأيك أعمل لك extra, something like that, بزيد لك خضرة. ما بعرف.
Do you want a
Yeah.
cocktail? Yeah, there you go.
The khudra one was
Uh,
good. Yeah, that's good. Carry on, Ali.
That's it, Said? Oh, awesome.
I'll think of more on the way. خيي. Give me time يعني. I need to process بدي أفكر. Wait, actually, Balan, I do actually have another one. Um, do you think the traffic بلبنان هو مصنوع قصدا هيك يكون, like being this chaotic? Like, is this a test, like a social experiment for Lebanese people in patience?
Uh, no, I would love to say yes, but I actually know the reasons behind the traffic in Lebanon. Like because the I don't claim to know this alone, but but all the highways in Lebanon, especially the new ones, were planned in the 60s, where we had way less cars, and we took like 4 or 5 times funding for these highways, and now we did them on the old plans. So our roads aren't designed in a way to uh, to transport all these cars. This is it. So yeah, it's a kind of a test of our stupidity, or our شو بعرف اسمه,
Tell,
our
tell.
ability to steal multiple times on the same project. Like it's really good. It's a specifically Lebanese skill. Like we can pitch the same project 6 or 7 times and get money off of it. Either we're really
Yeah.
smart or we're really stupid. I don't know.
And we still get away with it.
We're stupidly.
Yeah, and we still get away with it.
Yeah. إن شاء الله خير. الله زعلتني على البلد.
Inshallah khair. That's when you know that everything is fucked up.
No shit.
Yeah, that's God is your last resort.
Yeah. Oh.
What's it like to bomb, Omar?
It's so hard. It's your knees get weak, your heart starts pumping so much, and you start sweating, and you start questioning everything. Should I be on the stage? Should I keep talking? Should I address it? Should I not? And while you're thinking, the time gets passes, and the bump and the hole gets bigger. So it's really hard to bomb. And I remember my first couple of bombs. It took like 3 days to wear off. It was so hard to think about it, and because it disrupts all the things you're really sure about yourself. So you write a joke, you think it's really funny, it makes you laugh, you perform it a couple of times, you love it. You go to the open mic with expectations, and you have other jokes like that you wrote on the same session sometimes. And then you go on stage and this joke bombs, and automatically you know that other jokes will probably bomb. So you're already on a bad trip before going into your set. And you start digging and digging and digging, and you have to get out as soon as possible. It's very hard to get out from, and if you don't have any expertise, it's extremely hard. The more time you get on stage, the more bombs you get. You learn how to deal with silence or with bad jokes, and you can whip a good joke and save the atmosphere. But it's really hard to bomb.
Mm. Okay. So how do you deal with a bomb? You bombed. Now what?
Time. You have to go on stage again. This is it. The only way to deal with a bomb is to go on stage again, and this is what keeps most people of not coming back in comedy. Like a lot of people want to be
Mm.
stand-up comedians, but if they bomb once at an open mic, they will never come back. Most of them, because the feeling is unforgettable, especially if you have your friends there and you're really sure that you're gonna be funny, and you won't be funny. It's it's hard. It's hard. I don't have any advice. It's just go on stage again, do better, and have a thicker skin.
That happened to Said once upon a time. He bombed so hard
Yeah,
that
it's so hard,
he
Saeed.
quit.
I get it. I get it. You have to just keep going. But if you keep bombing, something's got to change.
No
I might become a terrorist. Who
story
knows?
mindset.
At that rate.
Oh my god. We need to cut this out too, bro. We can't have that right now.
Okay.
Said, tone down the violence a little
Disclaimer,
bit, bro.
this is a comedy
We need
episode.
popular.
This is not a serious episode. We are talking, it's
Yeah, that's a
disclaimer.
good point.
بنحطها هيك أول شيء in the title. Do not take anything seriously in this
Yeah.
episode. Or just cut out the terrorist part. Yeah, cut it out, cut it out.
Calm. Haha. Haha. But
We need.
Well, long story short, nobody trying to be a terrorist. They're freedom fighters. What? Uh,
Paco, we need you to come back to the US, bro.
bro, I'm there too.
What do you guys call a bomb in Arabic? Is it like an infijar? Like if you
It
bomb?
depends. It depends about the context. إمبلة, انفجار,
Imble.
عبوة, غارة, استهداف.
How do you deal with hecklers?
How to deal with what?
The hecklers. Like someone's at a
Ah,
show,
the
you
hecklers.
say a joke, they
Yeah,
yell.
yeah.
They say, fuck you, Ahmad.
Yeah, we don't have that. Fuck you, Omar. We don't have aggressive hecklers. Sometimes the hecklers would be trying to agree with you on stuff or to add something to your joke. They are never mean.
Mm.
Like almost never. We don't have mean hecklers. But they don't get that they are interrupting the show. They think they are adding to the show. So we take this into consideration and try to be nice sometimes. But some people won't stop talking, so we have to tell them, look, shut up. You're ruining the show for everyone. But sometimes it can mess up your set. So if the host sometimes prepares before you, he can know exactly who's gonna heckle, who's gonna be soft. They can handle them usually. But yeah, there's no right or wrong way to handle with hecklers. Just listen to them, talk to them, and figure out why they are heckling. If their intention is nice, is pure, you're good to go. If they're here to make any problems or cause any disruption to the show, there's the security. They can take them out. And I don't deal with hecklers because I try to keep my set without the crowd interference. So if someone heckles and I have a joke to come back instantly, I would. But if I don't have
Mm.
anything, I would continue my set, and people would look at them in a weird way. You know, people would do the talking for me.
Mm-hmm. I'm imagine like in the beginning when you guys first started doing stand up and when Awkward first formed, you guys had to teach the audience what it's like to go to a comedy club.
Yeah, yeah, we're
You
still
know?
doing it. Every time a comedy club opens outside of Beirut, we're still doing it. When Laugh opened, the crowd was new. When Play opened and Bayit, the crowd was new. And when Laugh opened now in Kaslik, the crowd is also somehow new to stand up. So yeah, you have kind of to teach them, but also you have to step in their way. Also, you have to meet halfway because you can't
Mm-hmm.
shock them with your kind of advanced comedy if you want. You have to be approachable. You have to be relatable at first, and then maybe like win them over. You know. But yeah, you have to teach them not to talk now, not to interfere. That this is really an artistic practice. It's not something that we're riffing and going on stage. We're not just MCs. We're doing something that took us a lot of time and preparation to do, and we have something to say. So to get people to respect you, you can't ask them to respect you. They have to see you multiple times and then form an image and a mental image about you. So yeah, you have to kind of teach the audience, but by stepping towards them also.
What are some of like the best crowds and what are the worst crowds for you? Now that you guys are expanding a bit more and doing it all over Lebanon.
Yeah, usually the best crowds are the smaller crowds. The smaller the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
the better it is. I think a crowd of 30, 40 people would be the ideal crowd for me because I get to test stuff that I would never test to 1,000 people crowd.
Mm.
I did shows where we had 1,000 or 1,200 people, and it was great. Everyone laughed. The feeling is amazing, but it doesn't have the same lasting effect that you get. You know, when I get pictures of the big venues, I realize, oh shit, this was really big, but the joy doesn't match. You know, the joy
That's so
doesn't match a
interesting.
small room. Yeah,
You would think it would be the opposite. You'd think that the bigger crowd with more people, more laughter
no.
would give you more kind of dopamine boost or something, but
No, no, no. The
no.
bigger the crowd, the more the range of people that you will make them laugh. The smaller the margin you can play with. The
Mm.
smaller the room, the bigger the margin you can play with, the more you can get people to understand who you really are and to listen to you and to. It's better. I prefer small rooms. Yeah.
Nice. Said, do you have any other comment? Any other funny questions or what? Or was that the end of it?
Yes. So if you get kidnapped, but the people who are kidnapping you are Lebanese, what's the first thing they're gonna offer you?
If I got kidnapped, what?
And they're Lebanese. What are they gonna
Only
offer you?
translate.
Sani, I didn't get the question. Can you repeat it, please? Sorry, guys.
Okay. You got kidnapped and they're Lebanese. What are they gonna give you? What are they gonna offer you?
I don't know. Cedars. The cigarettes, you know? Cedars. This is how they do in the jail, in Lebanese jails also. If you get arrested, they give you a cigarette pack when you're in the questioning.
And not the guards. Somebody will give you a pack, and you take that pack, and then you hold that faggot in a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice question, Said. Follow-up question, Said?
Yes, Cedars or Marlboro Gold.
Cedars.
لا حسب الشرب. في شيء هيك قاعدين مع الشباب بيبسري، لا سيريس. بس إذا قاعدين هيك مع زحلة أو شيء مطرح يعني شوي كلاس فهمت علي؟ مالبورو جولد.
لا أنا cedars. I would smoke cedars instead of Marlboro Gold anywhere. I wouldn't switch my cigarettes depending on the place. If someone comes and says, "Yeah, are you smoking cedars?" He's automatically not my friend. You know, this is the way how to filter your friends. Do what you please, and if they disagree, they're not your friends.
Like I wouldn't smoke in the first place. I'd rather go get a cigar.
Yeah, if I wouldn't. I think a cigar is like for private sessions, like if you're on a couch with friends and a cigar setting. Yeah, but some people smoke cigars when they're clubbing or partying. This is ridiculous. This is absurd.
Why is
And
it
it's as big as
absurd?
their mouth.
Yeah.
It's just showing off.
Yeah, they're just showing off. The bigger, the better.
No comment.
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
I've just noticed that Paco, every time I say something that could be slightly sexual, he says no comment. You're one of the guys that says حلوة instead of hello, yeah?
Yeah, شو بدك
He spot on, and he caught
Tell us
it.
a bit, Ahmad, about Said, do you have a follow-up question?
No,
Said,
Ali, you go ahead.
with us?
No problem. All
Okay.
good.
Oh, I want to ask you about your childhood, Ahmad Ashway. Tell us about, like, what's it like for you when you wanted to start doing stand-up comedy? I mean, did everyone, like people would call Said like a clown and stuff like that for doing stand-up.
Yeah, no one called me a
أكيد.
clown. I started doing stand-up 5 years ago, and it didn't exist in my head before that. I would just watch stand-up like I watched films. I never thought I would want to do stand-up, but I really wanted to write my whole life, so I got this now.
Stand-up was a vehicle for you for writing.
Yeah, exactly. I used stand-up to test out what I wrote, to just perform on stage a little bit. I like what stand-up offers me. I'm happy when I do stand-up. So, but I never thought I would do it. I never dreamed about it when I was a child. And no one called me a clown. They don't dare to.
Is it because you're like 190
Thumbs down,
in height?
Yeah. It's because I'm intimidating. This is exactly the reason. Yeah, if someone calls me a clown, I can make them remember.
I called you a clown because one, you have the fact that you
No, not the, yeah, not there's anything wrong with clowns because I worked with clowns and some people study clowning. It's an amazing thing. But because they associate the clown with something that's not serious, that's something that's and like what they mean to say is that comedy isn't serious,
It
and
is
I think
serious.
comedy
It's a
is a
message.
really serious
It's
thing.
literally direct what people feel
Yeah,
into words and make it funny. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Everything
that's
in
why it's
comedy.
serious. I mean, that's why it's so popular now. Before, people thought of it as comic, but it's not. It's just literally you're just communicating what people feel.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
What's the difference between doing like a movie, writing for a movie versus writing for stand up?
Oof, there's a big difference. A movie is very long, so you have to get a structure, and there's an arc, and there's characters, and people change. Some jokes can be 5 second long, and the structure is differentiates a lot. What you can say in a film is way more than what you can say in a joke. The way you write a joke sometimes can be very impulsive. It could be based on one thing you've seen but no one else has seen, or it's something that everyone sees but no one talks about. A film can tackle bigger themes and bigger subjects, and it's a different structure. I can't test out a film. I need a crew of 40 people to make a film, but I can test out a
Mm-hmm.
joke every single night. So it's a lot different. It's a lot different, and the rewriting process is way different because I really enjoy rewriting jokes, but I don't enjoy rewriting scripts. But it's necessary, and when I finish it, I think, okay, this was good.
There is some overlap though, right? Because they're both
Yeah,
comedies.
yeah, there's a lot of overlaps.
You're
Yeah,
writing
but
jokes.
in comedy films,
Mm-hmm.
in comedy
Yeah,
films, is where the overlap happens. Yeah,
you're writing some jokes. So do you ever like test out a joke in stand up that you might want to put in a movie?
yeah, yeah,
You know what
always,
I mean?
always. Yeah, yeah, always. I do that always. In
I think that's
sketches
pretty smart.
also, in small videos. Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
test out some situations, some short situations in a joke. If it works out on a stage, it will definitely work out on social media or
Mm.
in a film. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
stage is the ultimate proof that something is good or bad. You have 200 or 300 people watching you. Either they laugh or they don't. You can't fake that.
So when you were making your sketches, um, those were all based off some stand-up bits you did before, or how did that come
No, no.
about? Like
Some
you
some
doing
of them, some
sketches?
ideas come up. Yeah, some ideas come up, and I think, oh, this is a sketch idea. I wouldn't do it into a joke. And some stuff I think that's exclusively a joke. Some jokes turn into
Mm-hmm.
a sketch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very I don't know how to say it, but you can do with a joke multiple formats. Something
Mm.
that can start off as a joke can transform to a film and sketch and the feature film. But you can't reverse the process. You can't make a film a joke. You can't.
Right.
If something is sketch worthy, it's not only one joke. It's a collection of jokes together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Saeed, Paco, do you guys have any questions about his like sketches? You know, Omar does a bunch of sketches. They're funny. Saeed, your autism mutism is
I
really
mean,
hitting
best of
high right
luck.
now.
To be honest, I have no experience or any idea of buying comedy or sketches. I'm just an observer, and I like to laugh. And I watched a few of your stand-up comedy YouTube, and I was laughing the whole time. So, best of luck to you, Keith. Yeah, I can't,
Thank
I
you.
can't give you my advice because the only
Thank
thing
you.
I know is about cars and property and banking, and that's it. وانا ما بحط مصاريف في البنك, so that's the only.
Thanks for the compliment, Paco.
So I have a
Thank you.
question.
It meant a lot. Yes. Hold on.
So if marijuana was legalized in Lebanon, and then Lebanese moms started smoking marijuana, would they finally get off our backs and stop telling us what to do in life?
No, no, bro. They would say stuff instead of saying ما تنسى تاخد جاكيت ما تنسى تاخد الجرايندر جيب معك ورق لف بدي فلتر رفيع عمر وينك بدي دخن.
All right, guys. We can wrap it up there. Saeed?
Yeah, on that note. Okay. Thank you
Yalla,
so
close
much,
the episode,
guys.
Saeed.
Sweet. Okay, we
Thank you
end
so
it
much for doing
here.
another
Thank you guys
episode.
for
Saeed, go
watching
ahead.
another episode of A to the Show. I've been lagging this whole time, but Omar has not been lagging.